Also, whenever I use celery, like Carla talks about a freebie, I always take the leaves off because the leaves have a lot of flavor. So celery leaves go in, they have a nice kind of bitterness. And then some parsley. Now when you're cutting fresh herbs like this, make sure you only do one pass with the knife. And I'll take blame for this. You know, when people watch cooking on television, and you know, this is why people don't brown their food as much either. Back when I had my first show on the Food Network in 1998, it was called Who Watched the Melting Pot? It was huge in prisons. We were giant in prisons and nursing homes. It was a giant audience we had, massive. Like 12 people watched the show. But we would take the shows from start to finish straight through. You know, 30 straight minutes, start, done, start, done, start, done. So television, it was boring. So we would make a flame, flip a pan, chop stuff up. Things that we probably shouldn't have been teaching people, you know, but it was to make it interesting. Now shows are edited and it takes 2 days to make a show. You know, the Choose Live actually, but most shows on the Food Network, we do edited shows. So, but when you cut an herb, you just want to take it and just take one nice smooth pass of the knife. That's all you want. Because if you get over it and you start like a crazy person, all the oils come out of the herbs.
Preach!
Preach! And the only thing you're flavoring now is your cutting board.
That's right!
Who wants to eat their cutting board?
Who is eating the cutting board?
One person. She wants to eat her cutting board. She'll eat my cutting board. The good thing about a cutting board is it's very low in calories and high fiber.
Only if it's wood.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw in the parsley with my single pass. I'm going to stir this up a little bit, and what I'm doing here is, because the thing that I love about this is the dish that my grandfather makes every year for us over the holidays. Usually she usually makes it New Year's Day when we do a big pork roast and a pork pie to celebrate New Year's. And you know, I come from my grandfather was lower class, my parents were middle class, and so it was always like, how do we make delicious food with very little money? So that's how I grew up cooking. And we didn't use a lot of wine or things like that to glaze pans, but my grandfather would buy these great meats and weird cuts. That's why, like, when you see me on Iron Chef and some of my other shows, I love all that weird stuff, man. Brains, liver, hearts, sweetbreads, all that delicious.
It's called awful for a reason.
It's called offal, not awful. Offal. And it's delicious.
It's delicious.
My grandfather used to, we would buy the whole thing, and he goes, we're poor. We eat from the snout to the ass and everything in between. So, and that's what made me love pork so much, because it is the one animal where it is delicious from head to tail.
It's true.
Really delicious.
And I have to say, Michael, when we were in Cleveland and we went to West Side Market, it's some of the most beautiful sausages and fresh meats that oh my gosh.
I live in the sausage capital of the world.
Amazing. Really beautiful. Really beautiful.
So we deglaze the pan with just a little bit of water. And that's going to help make our sauce. So when you do this, when you put that liquid in a pan, take your wooden spoon and scrape the bottom of the pan, just like Carla said here, because that's going to bring all those little, the fond, all those little caramelized goodies up from the bottom, and that's what gives you all the flavor. And then you don't have to use the fancy wine or the fancy beer, all that kind of stuff. You can still get a delicious sauce using water, and I'd rather see you use water than a boxed or canned stock. All right?
And let me just say one other thing, Michael. Do you always use cold water, right? Because when you use a colder water, when it comes up to temp, it's actually extracting more flavor.
That's good. I like that. I don't do that, but I'm going to do starting today.
Right now. All right. So you know, you have